Hey, my foodie friends and family, how you doing? You're gonna hate me for this, but you know what? Fall is coming a couple of months away, and I'm going to prepare some holiday dinner patties. If you're tired of making traditional turkey dinner for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or whatever, here's an alternative. I'm starting with 2 tablespoons of butter. This happens to be a plant-based butter. I'm only using butter in this case because I want the flavor to kind of remind you of turkey dinner, where you have butter dressing and all those good things, without all the cholesterol. This is all plant-based. So I'm just getting that butter nice and frothy. I'm going to add 4 to 6 baby bok choy that I've sliced very thin. They're beautifully green, and the white bulbs are very succulent and delicious. I just love this vegetable. You can have it any which way. It comes out good. It absorbs any flavor you add to it. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. Take it easy on the salt in this case because we're going to be adding other ingredients that might be a bit salty. You can always add at the very end if you feel the mixture is not salty enough for you. We're going to saute those baby bok choys until they wilt. We don't want them soft and mushy. We just want them wilted and still crispy. I'm adding 1 package of seasoned stuffing mix. This can be any brand, any flavor. Chicken or turkey both work good. I'm having some difficulty opening the package. They say these are foolproof. Well, I guess I'm a fool. Because I can't get the damn thing open. This particular stuffing mix has a mix of white and brown and rye crumbs. And as you saw, it was a no-name brand. You don't need to buy brand names for this. They're both very good. I'm adding about 1 cup of chicken broth. You want just enough to soften that stuffing mix without making it real mushy and soggy. Toss that around to make sure that all the crumbs are coated and they soak up all that delicious chicken broth. So far, this looks like stuffing mix for your turkey, doesn't it? Well, this is where it all gets different. We're going to saute that until all that liquid is absorbed. And you see it's a bit dry now, which is good. And we're popping that in a container, and then we're going to stick that in the fridge and let it chill. Because we're going to be adding this to mincemeat, we want to make sure this is absolutely cold. I'm using 1 package or a pound of extra lean turkey. You can use chicken for this if you like. You could change this up and even use lamb. Ground lamb would make great patties for Christmas. There's the ground turkey. It is extra lean. There's very little fat. So we can afford that couple tablespoons of plant-based butter in the stuffing. I'm adding some salt and pepper, freshly ground black pepper, and freshly ground sea salt. Also adding a dash of Maggi. Maggi is a plant-based, vegetable-based sauce that adds a lot of umami flavor to whatever you're putting it into. I'm adding about a teaspoon of granulated dehydrated garlic. I like using dry garlic sometimes when I'm not sure of the moisture level. It will absorb and take in any kind of flavors that you add and puff up nice to, like, you'd swear it was fresh garlic. I'm adding 2 eggs. Do you see that this is kind of like a meatloaf recipe now? Very similar. We're going to incorporate the eggs into the meat mixture. And you want to make sure that everything is combined. And then we're going to pop that in a container as well and refrigerate it. It will stiffen up. I'm going to show you the sauce that I've made to accompany this. I'm taking a half a can of cranberry sauce, not jelly. Please make sure you use sauce for this. And I've just kind of mushed it into the bowl. We want to break up those. And there are some gelatinous pieces in there, but we want to make sure that this is more like sauce. And I'm adding about 1/2 to 1 cup of sour cream. You can judge how creamy you want this. A nice addition would be creme fraiche instead, which is a little bit sour. I mean, the cranberry sauce tends to be quite sweet, so adding something a bit sour is a good contrast. We're mixing that together, and we end up with a beautiful sauce that looks kind of pink and it has a great cranberry flavor with just a touch of sourness to take the sweetness away. We're not using gravy with these patties. This is going to be the sauce I'm going to serve with it. So now we're going back to the patty mixture. The meat and eggs have tightened up, and now I'm adding the dressing and bok choy mixture with garlic, and we're going to mix the two together. We're going to combine them until they're all incorporated. Now, the number of patties you make really depends on how much meat you use. If you have a big family, or if you're making this ahead, which is also a great idea, you can make these patties ahead a day or two, keep them in the fridge, and when you're ready to eat, pop them in the oven and let everyone serve themselves. They are absolutely delicious when they're finished. Saves you some headache on the day of, and you never know when people are going to pop by and say, "Hello, Merry Christmas, what have you got to eat?" And you have these patties already. You just need to take them out of the fridge and pop them in the oven for a little while. So I'm using a pizza pan that I've lined with some parchment paper, and I'm demonstrating my my new apron that says "Food that warms your soul." They look pretty cool, huh? I'm taking the meat mixture and I'm forming it into, pretty large patties. I mean, this is going to be a substantial size for dinner. They're not supposed to be hamburgers. We're not serving them on buns or anything like that. These are going to be dinner with some mashed potatoes and a nice salad and some hot bread from the oven. Or if you make your own dinner rolls, even better. So as I mentioned, the number of patties you get from this recipe will depend on the size of the package of ground meat that you use. This was a pound, and I got, I think, 4 pretty large patties. One huge one. If you make them too small, they'll get a little bit too brown in the oven. So I've made a big one that looks like a little meatloaf now. That's for the two of you when you want to have Christmas dinner or holiday dinner together. You can make a little meatloaf, and it'll taste just like Christmas dinner. I'm drizzling some Worcester sauce over top of these patties. The sauce will add a great umami flavor, and give this a little bit of a brown color while it's baking in the oven. Nothing fried here today. I'm already conscious of the couple of tablespoons of plant-based butter that I used, so I don't want to overdo the fat content. So far we're very, very lean and low in fat. There they are baked. They need to go in the oven at about 350 for 45 minutes to an hour depending how big they are. Serve it up with some of the cranberry sour cream sauce, and you have a festive dinner without the hassle of cooking a turkey or a big roast beef, and everyone will love these. If you like the recipe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. The more foodies here, the better. Thanks for stopping by for some more festive food that warms your soul. See you next time.